I'm Natalia Loback, and this is Change Course. Everything flows. This morning, I heard the first call of the red-winged blackbird. The red-winged blackbird is a migratory bird in North America, and where I live in Toronto, Canada, they inhabit the marshes, the rivers, the waterways, and the lakeshore during the summer. The red-winged blackbird flies south for the winter and returns in the spring. Their call for me is one of the first signs of spring. And every time I hear it for the first time again, I pause and I listen. Many approaches to change management focus on making change happen, where the assumption is that the organizations and the systems and whatever we're working with, that these things are static. So I spoke a little bit about this when we talked about Lewin's first theory of change in 1950, the unfreeze, change, and refreeze. And I talked about this in more detail in the previous episode, A Brief History of Change Management. And all of the central theories of change stem from this central idea that what we're changing is static. But what if we think about change differently? What if change is really about influencing an environment that is already in flux, such that we can produce different results? To understand this better, we're going to go back, way back, to 500 BC in the Roman calendar, to the city of Ephesus, which was part of present-day Turkey and was once a thriving city center in ancient Greece. Heraclitus was an ancient Greek philosopher from Ephesus, and he was a little bit of a misfit and a recluse. His central theory was everything flows, meaning that the central characteristic of the universe was a constant state of change. If you've ever used the quote or heard the quote, "The only constant is change," congratulations, you quoted Heraclitus. And he's also famous for the saying, "No person steps in the same river twice." What does this mean? Well, this central thinking means that change is inevitable. Change is constant, and like the ever-changing seasons and the advent of spring and the red-winged blackbirds returning, change is ever-present. Even though the blackbirds return every year, they're not the same blackbirds, and it's not the same year. So no person steps in that same river twice. The water is ever-changing. So what does this all mean? Well, when we're seeking to make change happen, we need to remember that we are making change within a system that itself is in a state of flux. In biology, we call this homeostasis or steady state. So the change is not something that happens every once in a while. It's always happening. In North America, there are many different groups and nations of indigenous people. One of the indigenous groups close to where I am also from, and the land of one of the groups that I currently live on, are the Cree people. Many indigenous groups use the lunar calendar to mark the changing of the season. So not the Roman calendar, but the lunar calendar. And the ever-present changes in the world are reflected in how they talk about the various moons that come at different times of the year. So the full moon in April is called, in the Cree language, the returning geese moon, reminding us that change is constant. Spring and the cycles of nature are constant. The geese return to the lakes when they unfreeze, and the cycles of nature continue. I mention this because when I heard that first call, the return of the red-winged blackbird, I looked up and I saw a perfect chevron of geese cutting through the sky. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed what you heard, I invite you to like, share, rate, and subscribe because it helps others find us. You can find our show notes on our website at www.charthouse.ca, where each episode has a page under the Change Course podcast. So anything that I referenced in today's episode will be posted there so you can find it. While you're visiting us, sign up for the Change Navigator newsletter. You'll get a monthly dispatch of all things change, what we're working on, and our latest research. Our music is Levity by Emily Klassen. Change Course is available wherever you listen to podcasts. We also have an accessible version on YouTube with fully edited captions. You can find the link to our YouTube channel in the show notes. Thank you again for listening, and remember, it's never too late to change course.